Yes, my name is Tammi Hess, and I am a family life coordinator at the Bethlehem House.
Nice. So what's the deal with Rocky?
Rocky is my inspiration.
Yeah.
I grew up to all the Rocky films, and he just kept me going and going and going and inspired me to never give up.
Do you remember the first one you saw? The first.
Was,
Yeah.
it was the first Rocky.
Yeah. Can you tell me when was that? How like?
Ooh, in the 80s.
Yeah. as it was.
Yes, it was. And the thing that I remember too is like him just working out so hard and running up the stairs and going to the top, and just that inspiration to keep going and never give up. And even with through his exercising, he was amazing.
Yeah. What's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen?
Every day I see something beautiful that God paints pictures for me every day. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Can you remember the last specific thing it was?
The biggest thing that I bring out the most is the mountains in Colorado. Like that was so amazing to wake up every day and just see the mountains, and it was so majestic. It was beautiful.
Yeah. What was the first motorcycle you ever had?
A Honda Shadow Spirit.
Yeah.
750.
Can you tell me about that bike?
Oh my gosh, it was the funnest thing. It was just when I got it, when I went to go look for it, and when I went to go and look at it to buy it, I just sat on it, and once I sat on it, I knew it was mine. It was meant for me to buy, and that's what it was like too. I drove it and enjoyed it the whole time. Yeah, and I needed something bigger and more powerful though.
Right.
Yeah.
Where did you go with it?
On that one, I just stayed in town. I went to I did go to South Dakota. I went to the hills and things like that and rode it up in that area. Yeah.
Are there important places that you got to go on a motorcycle that you didn't get to go any other way?
Yeah, I get to go. I get to go to the Smoky Mountains and Colorado and a lot of different places where it's a little bit more challenging to drive. On some of the roads, they're a lot windier and funner than just around here in the city and stuff. And so, yeah, I am planning a trip to go to Washington to go up in that area too. So I'm excited for that. That's coming up next year.
Yeah. Are you going with people or?
Yeah. I usually go with a group of women.
When was the last time you felt a sense of pride in an accomplishment?
I just had 14 years clean from all mood altering substances just yesterday, and so that's huge. I just had a birthday as well, my birthday, and I was just telling somebody, it's okay, it's my birthday, but yesterday was more of an accomplishment because it's like I get to live two lives in one lifetime with being clean, and so that's a big pride accomplishment for me. It's a miracle in itself. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's really great. I mean, that is that's a lot. That is really kind of an amazing thing. And 14 years is it's so clear. It is obviously a totally second life.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm grateful for it. Grateful, and I just get to see a different point of view. I get to see a different lifestyle because, when you're in this kind of lifestyle and using and drugging and drinking and crime and all that stuff, that's a whole different society than the society I'm living in today. And it doesn't mean I can use all those things that I used in that society. I can use them in this society just in a different manner. And that's what I learn on a daily basis. Yeah.
What can you use? Can you tell me more about that?
The way of there's so many things. I always say, I trusted people. I would give you $1,000 to go get my drugs for me, and I trusted you that you were going to come back and you would have some drugs for me, and they were going to be good. and today I just trust other people. You know, I trust other people in my community, my church members, and just other people in Narcotics Anonymous. I trust that they're telling me the truth, that if I keep coming back and if I read the literature and if I do the steps, that it's going to work and that I'm going to stay clean another day, you know, and so I trust that person's word, and so far for 14 years it has worked, you know, and just, you know, all kinds of things. The principles are just hoping, you know, I had a lot of hope in my active usage, you know, and today I just turned my hope into more positive manners, and I hope for the best, you know. And the biggest things for me is like having compassion for other people, and where I'm at in my job today. I'm being taught how to love unconditionally and not conditionally, and I did love conditionally, you know. I loved you if you have this or that, you know, and today I'm learning the opposite. I'm learning just unconditionally love people and have compassion and empathy, and but it all begins with me. Like I have to, and that's where the steps come in for me. The steps are for me. I always say the steps are for me so I don't commit suicide, and the traditions are so I don't commit homicide. And it's because I learned how to love me from the inside out. All of me, everything. You know, I have compassion for myself, and I have, you know, empathy for myself, and all that stuff. I have to have it for myself to be able to give it to others and give it away. And you know, and then I learned how to have unity in the traditions, and how to have responsibility, and some of the other principles that come with the traditions, and that's dealing with other people and dealing with them as they are and not wanting to change them. that's a, you know, that's the challenging part, because you want to change people sometimes when you know they might be going down the wrong road or something like that, and it's like, no, I just have to love them where they're at, and I do that. Yeah.
That's really great. That's like a really, this whole time I've been like, oh my god, that's great. We're probably using that one. Yeah, okay, so have you ever called the cops?
That's the funny one. I have called the cops, but it was on myself. And one time in my active addiction, I was just so out of it, and I would just say I was just strung out, and I probably just needed a break, and I had broken into this school. I don't know, I think I crawled through the window of a window, broke a window and crawled through it, and just went in there and like just started looking for food. I was just kind of, I didn't really have a place to live. I just was going from place to place to living, and did that, and I went in and was looking in the refrigerator, and I was just tired. And I remember calling the police and them coming and getting me and taking me to jail. And it gave me a break from the streets and through my addiction for, you know, a couple months and stuff like that. But that's the only time I've ever called the police was on myself. So
did that sort of give you a, like, I guess you were saying, like a breather, like a pause where you could catch up with something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, and even though I got a burglary charge out of that, it helped me to just pause and see what was really going on and what was happening in my life. I was tired.
Yeah.
I was tired of doing what I was doing, but didn't know how to get out of it. Besides going to jail. That's the only thing that I knew out of my life, and it was to go to jail, because I had been to jail before a few times, so I knew it gave me that time to come back to reality.